dig what I'm saying? Yellow view on my man, that's Gucci, dig what I'm saying? Caught a little jet lag, but I'm golden, yeah. We deserve Grammys and some Oscars, they deserve whammies, they imposters. I be rolling with my project homies, it's a vibe. I just put the homie, it's a vibe. Over switch sides, it's a vibe, yeah. I gon' do it, gon' do it, gon' do it. I gotta accept that I'm a, yeah. I pull up in several different options, that I would most ever. I shatter your dreams with this cream I make. What? Gotta be on the thinker. I say, what? I can't feel my toes, but ain't gon' fold up. I was in the double law when I rolled.
I've been rolling on the freeway, I've been riding 85. I've been thinking way too much, and I'm way too gonna drive. I got anger in my chest, I got millions on my mind, and you didn't fit the picture, so I guess you want the vibe. I've been rolling on the freeway, I've been riding 85. I've been thinking way too much, and I'm way too gonna drive. I got anger.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now, 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Falcons going up against the 49ers.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Ryan now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ray Armstrong coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Reuben Foster coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Looking deep for Julio. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's Ryan. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Andre Branch able to drop him for a loss of 4. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Eluding the pressure right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On third down, Bridgewater dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th.
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. The 30, and all the way down to the 26. Fresh set of downs here. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Over the middle, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. A long way to go in this one. I'm sure that's not the only score we'll see today, but to jump out like that, very good.
Yeah, everyone wants to set the pace. You know, in a game like this, you want people chasing you. You don't want to be the team chasing them. That's exactly what they did.
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Again, it's Johnson. Room here to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. A first down carry here for Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. From the gun, it's Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Reuben Foster in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football,
and he's going to go down again. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This will be taken at the 10. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Flush to his right. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Aaron Lynch in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down. We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion.
And they get to Bridgewater. Bridgewater taken down in the end zone for a safety. So they go with the empty set, and that's the risk you run right there. Nobody was there to protect.
Well, you know how most offenses have audibles, and they've changed plays when they see certain sets. A lot of defenses do the exact same thing. You go to an empty back set, they bring pressure, and boy, did it pay off in this case.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now Ryan. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Is that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ryan. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense. And they're already looking for more. Here's they've got it 1st and 10. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Ryan firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Escaping the pressure right. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
On second down, here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman, and he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Freeman a first down and more. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Now this is playoff football. I mean, what a big-time tackle. Perfectly executed with a little extra emphasis there.
And got him for a loss as well. Sanu with a grab over the middle. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. It's good to be the kicker for the top offense in the NFL, and Matt Bryant was that in 2016. Led the league in scoring with 158 points, but boy, does Atlanta find him valuable. So dependable and clutch.
And he's been valuable in this league for a while. Hard to believe he's been around since 2002. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Bridgewater now. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
To throw, Bridgewater. And able to find Garcon. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They go play action. Bridgewater being chased out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a gain of 9 yards. And they're going to have a third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it first and goal. Throwing, Bridgewater. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Bridgewater now on second down. And this is caught at the 8. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's go. 180.
Third and goal for Bridgewater. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight end. And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Duke Johnson taking it in. And the 49ers get a score closer. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, sometimes it doesn't appear like much. The out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. The reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Hold that thought, Mr. Ridley. We've got a trip to the title game on the line. Folks are eager to get right back to the action. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with third down and just a yard to go.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it here. Why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Off the bootleg. Ryan under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. First down, Bridgewater. Flushed out right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I think there he had to come off of his primary receiver in a big way, just trying to get it to a secondary guy, unable to get that play completed.
Checked down, but didn't even have enough time to do that. Incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get out.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there, 71 yards. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, well, obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
Getting it out left side to Sanu. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Throw again. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
And now it's second and goal. After the penalty, here's Freeman. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a third and goal.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Play action. It's Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, someone wasn't very happy about that game being tied up. They came right back at him with a big-time return. They want to get back out in front as fast as possible.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? I want to check into a throw the next time.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran.
There goes Duke Johnson. Touchdown, 49ers. Duke Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Take a 7-point lead now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Now it's Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Third and long. It's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back near the 25.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. They now have the lead. They were losing at halftime, but this guy right here, he's looked pretty sharp, especially in this 3rd quarter.
The halftime did him some good. I mean, when you look at it, being able to come out and play this well in the 3rd quarter, that knowledge he gained in the first half has carried over and helped elevate his play in the 3rd quarter.
He's got the 2 touchdowns in this 3rd quarter alone. He'll be looking for a 3rd down. Here's Johnson, dropped at the 35, so able to display his strength, but not much room to operate. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably... Oh, no, he lost the football. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. Second down, Bridgewater. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Forced out to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
Man, it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to the hotel before the game, and one of the themes they kept hitting us with was, let's put the pressure on the #1 seed and see if they can handle it. Let's do that. Well, they're the #1 seed for a reason. Best team all year long. They're showing it again in this game.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. It'll be a 20-yard gain on the play. They'll run the option right here on first down. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down. From the gun, Bridgewater. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Randy Gregory. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a short kick, taken near the 18. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on
Julio Jones all alone. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
His throw incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Bryant's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the 4th quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
31 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. First by him near the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Duke Johnson saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about it.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now is Ryan. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 24-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Now Ryan. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis. Interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Back to the air. Ryan after the pick 6. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he is out of bounds just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agree. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And Hill with it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Reuben Foster getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. On 2nd down, Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts That'll leave him with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game.
Let's go.
Bridgewater. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship, and
Yeah. Young Gerald. Yeah. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 2 12s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass. Don't spill on me. That's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. Like Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lot y'all got me speaking slow like, yeah, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't got, say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies now R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah. Was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't got, say less.
Sheesh. What you saying? I don't understand. I'm out my mind. I popped.